I'm guessing I'm not the only one who thinks that sometimes in this world, things don't seem to make sense. For instance, why do we park in a driveway but drive in a parkway? Or why is the word long shorter than the word short? And of course, why do doctors call what they do practice? As much as I struggle with the ways of this world, there are times where I come across a scripture that doesn't make sense to me either. One such scripture came to my attention shortly after our daughter Summer passed away in 2010. That scripture is found in Isaiah 65, where it talks about heaven. It says, "The past troubles will be forgotten and hidden from my eyes. See, I will create a new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind." When I first looked at that scripture, I remember wondering, how in the world am I going to ever forget about the events of January 20, 2010, the day my daughter passed away? But then I started talking with a friend of mine, and I asked him about that scripture. And here's what he said. He said, it isn't that you won't remember that day at all, but rather that you won't remember it as sorrow, because in heaven we'll be given a different perspective. This means that in heaven, I'll be able to look at the worst day in my life and see it as a blessing. I'll see the glory of what God did through the most difficult times in my life. And then I won't look back on that day with sorrow, but rather as a time of joy. The reason I think that this is possible is because it's the same way that we look at the cross. As Jesus hung on the cross, it would have been easy for us to say, this is the worst moment in the history of humanity. But instead, we look at the greatest day because of what happened 3 days later. The resurrection gives us a different perspective on everything, doesn't it? So my encouragement for you today is that whenever you face a difficult time in your life, just remember that this is temporary. And eventually, you'll be able to look back on this same situation with joy that's unimaginable.